Hey guys, Tony's right. It was 11:11. Now it's 11:12. So I'm gonna wrap up the first week of class series. I kind of didn't feel like it on Thursday. I felt really tired, so I just didn't do Thursday's video that was gonna go out. Hence, it didn't go out on Monday. So today is now Tuesday of the following week, so I'm in week 2 of the semester, and I'm just gonna talk about week 1, the third class that I had. So the other videos, week 1, class 1 was my teaching writing class, so that's becoming like a teacher within the university setting and kind of like how to engage students to learn the material, which will basically be like composition kind of courses, just the basics. So there's that. Day 2 was my second course, which is like a journal course. Journal meaning like we're the masthead for the literary journal that the university produces, and so we we do that anyway. So that's that. The third one was my advanced writing course, which is going to be like kind of getting you prepared a little bit for thesis. So some people are in their third year, so they're going to be wrapping up their stuff, and then some people like myself are in like second year, so we're going to be going forward. So let me get a bottle of water. My head kind of hurts a little bit. I think I'm kind of dehydrated, so let me get some water. So those are the 3 courses. So the third video I'm going to do is about the third class, which is the advanced writing course. So advanced writing basically pulls like all of us together, like all the tracks together. So we're going to be like creating majority of our own genre, but then we're going to like switch it up and stuff like that. And we're really going to look at craft and creating works and analyzing and kind of getting ourselves into the space of like preparing for thesis year and preparing for what happens after you graduate when you want to sustain your own writing career, and kind of building that discernment and that editorial curatorial skill as it pertains to like your writing and stuff like that, and just other people's writing as well, just in case like you want to go into like other aspects of publishing, which I am very interested in. So other aspects of publishing. So it's going to be a lot of writing, but a lot of, I think, just analysis and thinking, not necessarily book analysis per se, but like analysis of your own like goals, your reasoning behind them, your reasoning behind the choices that you're making, kind of like a lesson in intentionality. And so I'm kind of excited for that. So we kind of did an assignment where we had to write our goals and go from there. So writing our goals, my baggage, I'm sorry. Writing our goals for like the semester, we'll revisit them. We're gonna have conferences, kind of like, this in this course. And we're gonna like be revising our work and submitting portfolios and stuff like that, which is typical for like what I've done and other courses with this teacher specifically. So I'm gonna have another portfolio that I can like shop off to other places, and I think that this course will really help me kind of stay consistent, because my goal for the semester is always to get published twice. So this semester, now that I'm like in the program for real, I got published like twice ish last semester. So that's my goal going forward, getting published at least twice a semester going forward until I graduate. So I have essentially like 3 more semesters left. Happy about that. I want to get published twice here, twice maybe over the summer, count that as a semester, but definitely twice in the spring, twice in the fall. So there's that. My goals, I basically said, let me get the document up. My goals. Okay, let me just, it's up. I gotta like get my hard drive, my like thing to start moving stuff over, because my computer is getting quite slow these days, and I want to do my projects and I need space because Adobe takes a lot of space to do. So yeah, so basically, okay, this is the 2 books that I chose. So we had to choose 2 books, and we had to talk about why we wanted them, and then we had semester goals that I put. So my goals, I said to create cohesive bodies of work for chapbooks, write more consistently, and write different kinds of poems, learn the structures to then experiment. So basically the first goal was to create cohesive bodies of work, because I want to submit chapbooks. I feel like I will create a full like a full length of poetry, but I kind of like the idea of a chapbook more than a full length. And usually full length for a lot of places is like 40-ish plus pages of work. I don't know how many poems that consists of because poems can vary so much in length, but roughly starting minimum at 40 and going up. You know, the largest I've seen is like 120-ish, somewhere in there. So for me, I don't really think my lane, specifically my lane, is full-length collections. I think my calling lies with chapbooks. And so I want to get down to an inner curative voice, inner curation, so that I can create chapbooks. Because I kind of feel like for me, it's not like I want to like just produce and just like throw shit out there, but I definitely don't necessarily see myself within the traditional publishing spaces and like getting a book deal and getting signed and it's coming out like next year or 2 years from now, whatever. And I have I'm under contract. I'm under contract for like 2 or 3 books, like stuff like that. I feel like because I self-publish my own stuff, I kind of just feel like I'm going to continue to self-publish in some capacity because there's a lot of stuff that I want to do within my own like publishing goals for myself that require me to kind of DIY it. Of course, bring in experts, but like I kind of feel like my publishing career will be more like self-published type thing, self-produced kind of thing. And the main reason for that for me is a big ownership thing. I just kind of feel like as a writer, you can get, definitely as a musician, you can get like shit deals. Midsummer Murders is on shit deals and stuff like that, and they may not be the most beneficial to you. And then of course owning your work is a lot, I feel like it's a lot better in maybe publishing like written work as opposed to like music, right? Like publishing music and publishing, you know, writing credit, you know, all that kind of shit. I think that's very, very dicey and has a history of being very exploitative. But I think book publishing can be like that too. And I kind of just want more, I think, control. And I guess I would have to explore publishing as an industry, maybe a course, or just start talking to people within the publishing industry about ownership and control of your work and how the finances look. Because you're already going into a program that's known for people not necessarily being the most financially abundant. Like financially stable could be like a word to use for writers, but usually not necessarily a financially abundant, overflowing. Like you can pay your bills maybe, but it's not necessarily, and even that is not necessarily a guarantee in publishing. So some people do this on the side, right? So anyway, that's my first goal. My second goal is to write more consistently. Just like I said, I want to get published more consistently, so I need to write more consistently, and I just want to start developing the habits that will allow me to write more consistently when I graduate, particularly when I don't feel like writing, and how to kind of generate ideas to kind of get me back on the flow. I don't want to be that person that takes 10 years in between books. I don't want to be that person that takes 10 years to start wanting to write again. I want to be consistent because I kind of just feel like the more I move, and I'm not saying pushing myself or, burning myself out, but the more that I move and the more that I progress, I personally know for mental health reasons, I cannot like exit stage left of something that I'm very interested in for like a year or plus. I just think that my mental health takes such a toll. It goes downward spiral like a lot. So for me, I would like to be consistent. So that's that. And the third one was write different kinds of poems. So like what I mean is like sonnet versus, you know, whatever. The reason why is because I personally, like, I really actually don't have that much background knowledge of different kinds of poems, and I want to develop the knowledge of it. Like, to me, I cannot read something and like ascertain that it is a sonnet versus a this versus a that. Like, I think the only thing I can really pick out would be a like haiku, and that's because it's like a very short one, and it's one that I feel like you can understand like very easily versus like a sonnet. There's different kinds and stuff. So to me, I'm like reading stuff, couplets and stuff like that. Like I get it, but the actual mechanics of how it is constructed, I'm not necessarily, and I didn't take the time to read it. I'm not be free. But I would like to learn what those basics are so that I can like learn to identify them, one, but then learn to break those rules and experiment within like those rules and push the bounds of that stuff. So those are my goals. I think this semester is gonna be pretty cool because, you know, I don't feel like I have any one skill that I'm like heavily relying on this semester. I feel like we were very heavy on bookmaking last semester because I had 2 courses that dealt with that. This semester is kind of like, one is about teaching, that's a certain skill set. One is about editorial, that's a certain skill set. One is about advanced writing, that's a skill set. And they cross-pollinate, but there's not like, I don't feel like one is definitely like, you know, the main one that's going to be like the stressor. To be honest, the stressor may be like the teaching writing because I have to start considering like pedagogy and stuff like that. But in terms of like course load, I feel like it's a pretty even course load across the board, and so I'm trying to like stay on top of it. So that was my first week. That was the 3rd class, my advanced writing course. I'm excited about it because I want to develop another portfolio, and I want to go into summer and then thesis year, which is my fall 2025-2026 spring year, with like ideas, if not like a full fleshed out concept. I don't necessarily want to go into thesis year not having any fucking ideas, but I do but I do not want to be necessarily locked in until I get to thesis year. I don't want to be like, no, what I'm writing about is this. I want to allow for exploration, but I want to be generating ideas so when I come back, I'm like, I have a few ideas. I'm open to pivoting and stuff like that if I receive any new information and going from there. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.